It was 2 years ago today. We lost Kobe Bryant and others in a horrific helicopter accident. And it's only fitting that we celebrate the life of a Hall of Famer by talking about the induction of a Hall of Famer right here tonight on the Speedway Review. I'm Chris Burns. With me, as always, Corey Huffnagel, Jordan Bellasico, and gentlemen, Dale Earnhardt Jr. Never thought I would see him as first ballot Hall of Famer, but here he is. He's a Hall of Famer 2022. Like the shirt. How nice. When did you get that, bro?
My wife actually got it for me for Christmas. Oh, no.
You have a nice wife.
Yeah, that's right.
When she's not trying to kill you.
God.
And that's okay. She can't hear me, can she? Okay, good. That means I'm safe too. Anyway, I'm going to give you the tale in just a few minutes. Before we get started with that, does anybody have news and notes that we want to go over before we get into the Dale Earnhardt Jr. Hall of Fame talk?
All right. So I'm going to basically just start this one off. So the Cup Series announced as of
Hi, Terry.
Oh, you got it?
Yep, I just said hi to Terry.
Oh, okay. I thought you asked me, can you hear me? But okay. Anyways, before I distract myself. All right. So the Cup Series yesterday, they announced a new tougher penalty system for 2022. So it's going to be followed, so you're going to have the L1, the L2, and then the L3 penalties as well. So the L3 penalties, I'm going to read this off real quick. So for penalty options, this includes points deductions of 120 to 180 points, playoff points deductions of 25 to 50 points, suspensions of 1 or 2 crew members for 6 races, fines between $250,000 to $500,000, nullifying postseason eligibility regardless of wins, points, and other qualifying criteria, and a 1-race suspension for the team in the event of a repeat high-level violation. Now, this pretty much goes as the L3 penalty included. So, gentlemen, your thoughts?
I don't disagree with some of that stuff. It's very rare that we see an L3 penalty ever. We get one and L2 all the time. Corey reads those off like he's giving away, Skittles. But, L3, I've not heard of one, and maybe you guys can help me. When was the last time you heard an L3 penalty?
Never heard of one since,
Yeah, it's got to be something like, if there were going to be one to be given, and I'm not saying it just because he's Kyle Busch, when Kyle Busch just didn't care about anybody's safety and drove into the garage area at Darlington,
oof,
and just plowed right through. You got people jumping out of the way, people tossing tires and throwing babies and whatnot. To me, yeah, you're taking somebody's safety into your hands, and that's just not good. To me, that'd be an L3 penalty. But I'm guessing that it's gonna be something major, like a huge cheating violation, maybe one of those situations where you dump somebody on purpose and they dump you, and now you want more revenge, and now it's just a safety concern. Boys had it, it's good until it becomes we're trying to kill each other, and to me that's not good.
Right.
What's Jordan looking at?
But okay, all right.
Oh, look, we got Kyle Larson, upcoming events.
Well,
so he's got a good weekend.
Yeah, I mean, with Larson, that's basically him.
Yeah, obviously seen how over the weekend he was trying to race at Volusia, but Florida rains, washed everything out. So he's racing tomorrow night, Friday night, and Saturday night. I'm sure he's going to win at least something.
2 out of 3 easily.
Yeah, I'm probably going to say 2 out of 3 also.
Yeah.
And
I'm sure if you guys heard, Smoke Baby is back for the Daytona 500 and the Clash in the booth. That is going to be hilarious between him and Clint Boyer. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
When I saw it come up during the football playoffs, I thought, this is going to be really good. Tony Stewart did well doing Xfinity races in the past, and obviously he has a ton of knowledge to share with everybody. But I forgot that him and Boyer are buddies, and you put 2 buddies behind microphones and you're going to get shenanigans. And you see that sometimes when it was Michael Waltrip in the booth. Michael Waltrip and Petty had, for the little while they worked together, had the weirdest, funniest vibe together. And now Dale Jarrett and Kyle Petty sort of have that now. But yeah, I think it's good. Like, I'm glad you brought that up, Jordan. Clint Boyer, Tony Stewart in the same booth. Mike Joy is going to need lots and lots of bourbon.
Yeah. But other than that, I think it's going to be awesome. And also, it's going to be cool, with Tony Stewart's commentary as well and his knowledge about racing and so forth. And
as long as he's not biased towards his own team.
Right. No, I
Like
think
Gordon was with Hendrick.
I mean, I really wish that Fox would just put him around the whole season, but I know that Fox is going to be doing a rotating, of like third person, who's going to be in the booth and all that. So after that was announced, I kind of thought to myself, there's a lot of names that I kind of like juggled out of the bat, like who would be the third person, like every weekend or so forth. I kind of thought about one. Why not put Mark Martin in the booth?
That's a damn good idea.
Or Cousin Carl.
Even better.
Carl Edwards, I'd love to see him in the booth. He'd be awesome.
When they do the Xfinity stuff with the Cup drivers come down and they do the booth, everybody thinks it's fun and games. Those are like live auditions, whether the drivers know it or not. Right. And when you get a guy, and I'll throw a couple names out there: Kurt Busch, Joey Logano, and Kevin Harvick nail it every single time. And there are other guys that go in there and they don't do so well, but you can feel they're getting their feet wet. Ryan Blaney at the end of his career is going to make a great play-by-play.
Yeah.
To the point George made about Jeff Gordon, for the last couple of years, he was, he was the best analyst in the sport. And then this past year and a half, with Hendrick becoming, a superpower once again, I do feel he slanted a little bit toward the Hendrick camp. But when you have, what are you showing me? Bang? What is that?
Bang energy drink. Looks like.
I can't read that, dude. It's 58-year blue and yellow limoncello. What is wrong with you?
I'd never even seen that.
Neither have I. But he was slanted toward the Hendrick guys. But he's Captain Hendrick. He is. There's Mr. H, there's Jeff Gordon, and that's how that train is run for 20, 25 years. Why not? Why not just shill if you can? But for Tony Stewart, these couple races, I don't think he's going to shill for SHR. I think he's going to tell it like it is. If somebody makes a mistake, whether it's Harvick or Custer or Briscoe, doesn't matter who makes a mistake, Almirola, he'll get on him, much like watching the Xfinity races with Junior in the booth and Noah Gragson, rear ends, what is it, David Starr? And he you knew he was seething, but he's like, oh, tough break for the 9 car. He played it smooth. Hopefully Tony does the same.
Yeah, I think he will.
Any other
I gotta bring it up since we're on the smoke subject. 10 people just leave the Kevin Ward situation over. It's been settled. Shut up about it and move on.
It's the same thing with OJ Simpson.
It still bothers me too. I really don't.
Yep.
I don't really like discussing that, and some people, that kind of say like, oh, Tony Stewart's a murderer, whatever it is. That's the part where, people just don't understand, that, I mean, seriously, like I usually tell them like, guys, Tony Stewart is not the guy that, that I would, well, actually, here's the thing. Tony Stewart would never kill anybody with a race car. Okay. That's not the Tony Stewart that I know. And that's not the Tony Stewart that everybody knows. I mean, everybody's got a different opinion, but my thing is this, Tony would never kill anybody with a race car, period.
I agree with that. And the old saying is you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make them drink. In this situation is you can lead a moron to knowledge, but you can't make them think. And that's the deal with a lot of these, Tony Stewart killed Kevin Ward Jr., and it happened. Well, listen, Cletus, sit down and shut up. He was exonerated in a court of law. I'm sure, being the man that he is, if Stewart had gotten rung up for that, he'd have taken his punishment like a man. But
yeah, he would have.
By all accounts, he was innocent. He was not guilty. It's over. Stop talking about him. Stop talking about OJ.
Exactly.
And Terry says it the best. The accident wouldn't have happened if Kevin had just stayed in his car.
Yeah, I do agree on that.
Absolutely. Any other news and notes before we move on? Don't all speak at once.
Unless Jordan has something. Ooh.
Oh, look at this.
This is pretty cool. I like this. I like that.
Good looking car.
Yeah, I like
And
It is
of
a good
course-
looking car.
And of course, that'll be a car that will be wrapped around many a wall this year. Because as we like to say when we're watching the races here, Cody, where?
In the rear.
And he's at the bottom of the track with Quinn Huff and Jeff Green and the rest
Now
of the.
I do have some. No, I have some Haley Deegan news, and I think this is actually pretty. And I think this is true. Where is it? I just read it today. So someone said that the head of Ford Performance states that if Haley Deegan performs well in the NASCAR Truck Series this year, we should expect her to go into Xfinity for 2023.
Not a bad idea.
Nope. Now someone did make a mock-up. Of what her car would look like in the Xfinity series for SHR. It's a number 4 Monster Energy. So
I think I saw it in the group chat.
Yep. I said that. And
nice. I'll admit.
yeah, even Deegan said herself she's performed very well over the last year in trucking. She's looking forward to the 2022 season. So I think she's going to perform very well, especially at the Daytona. She did very well. She did Kansas. I think she's going to have a good season. So and she's participating in the Michelin Challenge this weekend. With,
Which
Chase
is
Briscoe
24 hours of Daytona.
Yep, it's the race before. It's the 4-hour Michelin Pilot Challenge, and she's sharing a ride with Chase Briscoe.
All right.
Nice.
All right.
Yep.
Okay, so are we ready to dive in?
I'm ready.
Let's do it.
All right. Well, he's got the shirt on. I'm going to introduce you if you have lived under a rock for the last 20 years or so. The inductee into the NASCAR Hall of Fame is Dale Earnhardt Jr. Born Ralph Dale Earnhardt Jr. on October 10th, 1974. He is the 1998 and 1999 Busch Series champion. He is a 2004 and 2014 Daytona 500 winner. He was the 2000 Winston winner, 2003, 2008 Budweiser Shootout winner. He had 4 straight wins from the fall of 2001 to the spring of 2003 at Talladega. He is the 2004, 2005, 2014, 17, and 18 Xfinity champion owner.
Yep.
Some of the other awards he's gotten is the Bill France Award of Excellence in 2017, Texas Motorsports Hall of Fame in 2017. From 2003 to 2017, he was the Cup Series' most popular driver. That is a string of 15 straight times. In his Cup career, he walked away with 26 wins, 260 top 10s, and 15 poles. In his Xfinity career, 24 wins, 94 top 10s, 10 poles, and 2 championships. Not a bad run for old Junebug.
No.
Now, generally, when we do this, Jordan has videos ready to go, and then we talk about memories. So I'm throwing this episode right to Jordan. He is going to lead this crazy train. Have at it, Senor Jordan.
All right, guys. The first video that we got is his very first ever NASCAR Busch Series victory. Actually, here's his inaugural interview alongside his father, Mr. Dale Earnhardt Sr.
There are a few more famous names in motorsports than the Earnhardt name, and an entirely new page in that family's tradition is about to be written here this afternoon. Let's get the story trackside. Here's Randy.
You got it. Starting 7th today, Dale Earnhardt Jr. He's starting alongside the number that his father made famous. Dale Earnhardt Jr., congratulations on your first Busch Series start. What about it today? Can you run up front, possibly win this race?
Well, we're sure going to try. We got a good handling race car with the Mama Pops and Dale Earnhardt Chevrolet. We ran good laps in practice, so I think that if we can save the tires and be smooth and just let them other boys do what they want to do, and maybe we'll be around at the end. We'll just have to conserve tires and have a good pit strategy, and we'll see what happens.
Okay, good luck to Dale Earnhardt Jr. He finished 4th in a late model stock race just a few moments ago. We'll be back to the Myrtle Beach Speedway in just a moment.
2 laps to go. And Earnhardt is within striking distance. Sadler close enough to challenge the Polson and last week's winner.
Here comes Earnhardt. He's brought it down to less than a car length down the back straightaway.
Boy, does he get off the corner.
He does. That car has been hooked up all day. We've talked about it several times, and right now is when it really counts. We'll get the white flag this time.
And he's got to run.
Oh, he's got him loose coming down. He makes a move on the inside, Mike.
3 wide at the start-finish line past Glenn Allen. Dale Earnhardt Jr. into turn 1 with the lead. Does Nemechek have anything to battle back?
What a great drive by Earnhardt to get by Nemechek. Got him loose coming out corner, and here comes Elliott Sadler.
This isn't over. Sadler underneath Nemechek. Takes over second spot. The fastest car in qualifying draws a bead on the new leader.
He's gaining, but he doesn't have time, Mike.
What a day in history. Dale Earnhardt Jr.
will win the Coca-Cola 300. 16th Busch Series start.
And here's trouble as we come across the start-finish line. Jeff Green is hitting the wall.
And everybody will miss him. Tony, Yuri, and crew will have a lot to be proud of.
If they said you hadn't seen hard yet, well, we know what they meant.
Off to victory lane.
He doesn't have time for autographs right now.
Off to victory lane goes Dale Earnhardt to see his son. Ned, you're a fellow who knows what that feels like. Tell us about
I'll tell you, there's no feeling like it in the world, Mike. It's just the greatest. And I know that he's very, very proud of his son. He doesn't want to sign autographs right now, and he shouldn't even be asked at this point because
Dale Earnhardt Jr. on the two-way radio as he came across the line. He yelled, "Daddy, I love you to death." For
first
this.
win and points leader right now.
How about that? There's the proudest father in Texas. And there goes his son, taking that famous number 3 to victory lane.
Two things that I can look at here is one, when you look at his first ever interview at Myrtle Beach in '96, and you consider the fact that he's a professional broadcaster now, it speaks a lot for how he learned to communicate with the people and learned to work the microphone and the cameras. And second, that spin goes to show you the non-greatness of one Jeff Green, which is why we always named last place the Jeff Green position until Quinn Huff came around.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that was a Texas race, Coca-Cola 300, I believe it was, 1998, correct?
Yes,
April
sir.
4th, 1998.
Wow, fantastic. And if I'm not mistaken, oh, no, his birthday's later in the month. I know that because Rusty Wallace won on his birthday one time and dedicated the race to good old senior. April 29th, I was right. Not that I wanted to be, but, you know, he's still Dale Earnhardt, and he's still the man. So, but we're here to talk about Junior. The first of, what was it, 24 wins on the circuit, going on to win 2 championships. You know, maybe it's just me. Yeah, he's got 2 less wins on the Xfinity Series than he does on the Cup Series, but to me, Junior was a better Busch / Nationwide / Xfinity / fill-in sponsor here driver than he was a Cup driver. And I believe that's most of the reason why he's in the Hall of Fame, is because he had such a dominant, stellar, and short Busch Series. I'm not going to do the whole rigmarole again, but he was a very good Cup driver. When you look at the all-time wins leaders, he sits in 32nd. He is sandwiched with Joey Logano above him at 27. Lawrenson is tied with him at 26. And Pascal and Joe Weatherly with him at 25, and Ricky Rudd with 23. You know, I understand in the fast food world that we live in, where people think the championships make a great driver. No, heart, determination, and skill makes a driver. And starting with Jordan, you know, I guess this is the part where we can go to some memories. What skill do you think Dale Earnhardt Jr. possessed that made him this great and made him a Hall of Famer?
Well, knowing that, learning a lot of skills and stuff from his father, he was able to maintain himself, keep racing. He formed a successful race team, You know, when, like you said, mentioned all those championships stuff. I tell you what, it's like Junior created the skills of his own. Hey, Tori's joining us.
Tori!
What's happening, good people?
What's going
Where my
on?
margarita at?
I'm sorry, tonight's episode is sponsored by Bud Light. Bud Light, ladies and gentlemen. When you want to feel a little something but not be fat, get your Bud Light.
Cheers. Hold that up again. Cheers, my man.
Cheers, brother.
Yeah.
Tori's got that echo, so he'll have to mute his mic.
I got that echo going again?
Yep.
Yeah, you do.
Well, y'all just point to me when you're ready.
All right.
But back to what I was saying. I mean, he wasn't the greatest of a driver, but I tell you what, he sure knew how to make races entertaining. I mean, dominant at Talladega. You know, dominant on the restricted place most likely. I mean, my favorite, and I will play it, but my all-time favorite Dale Earnhardt moment.
He can see. Will Michael Waltrip block for Dale Jr.? Will he try to win the race himself? White flag is out. Final lap at Daytona. 180,000 on their feet, screaming wildly. 2.5 miles to go.
Just exactly the opposite of the Daytona 500. It was 15 and 8. Elliott Sadler's trying to keep Bobby Labonte behind. He can't do it. But he does move down in front of Rusty Wallace on that fast line.
Clear. Bobby Labonte looking for some help, trying to get up there. His teammate Tony Stewart has never answered the black flag.
And they're 4 wide back between the Wallace boys.
Here they come, turn 4, final lap of the Pepsi 400. Michael Waltrip in second, but it's going to be Dale Earnhardt Jr. using lessons learned from his father to go from 6th to 1st and score the victory in the Pepsi 400.
That's unbelievable.
Yes!
That man behind you did it for
Yes!
you. You guys celebrate. You love you, man. You did it.
That was beautiful. Very, very nice.
Junior, you happy?
All right, you
Look
guys
at that
are
smile. Wow. I don't think there's anybody here that didn't want to see that. Sentimental favorite, emotional favorite. Earlier in the broadcast, we talked among ourselves. Some of the moves he made on the track today looked like his father behind the wheel.
I am speechless.
What? Makes
And
perfect
that-
sense.
It makes perfect sense. And that speaks to something, and I love that photo of them two together
Yeah.
celebrating after the race. The DEI boys. The tag that I wanted to put out there, and he was a great driver, wasn't the greatest. He's not going to be looked at as a top 10 driver of all time. But the thing that's going to keep his name ringing forever, other than being Dale Earnhardt Jr., in my opinion, he was fearless. And, you know, he could have shut it down after his dad died. He could have, let that eat at him. And, well, if it happened to him, it can happen to me. At that age, I believe he was 26, 27 years old. He just said, screw it. I'm going to go out there. I'm going to do what I love and do what I do best. And I'm going to make the best career I can out of it. And he certainly did. Some of the moves he made, yes, he learned from his dad, but there were some others that just absolute no fear whatsoever. And I want to give him a lot of credit, too. His career could have gone on for years and years, but with the concussion issue, he thought better of it. I'm going to have a family. I'm going to live a long, healthy life. I'm going to get out while I can. Corey, you're next, then we're going to throw it to Tori.
Alrighty. How I talk about Dale Earnhardt Jr., I mean, let's be honest. I mean, the guy's had a really good career. And, of course, throughout the years when he raced the Daytona and Talladega, you pretty much knew that he was just going to be the car to beat, especially when, between 2004 to like 2005, when DEI was starting to dominate on the super speedways, it was either Dale Jr. or Michael Waltrip that was going to win the race and so forth. But I just look at his racing career, and I mean, there was a time where, I'd probably say like maybe 4 or 5 times in his career where he went winless. And I kind of felt bad at those moments where, he wasn't winning a lot of races during the years. And of course, then you had the concussions, 2 of the seasons that he had. And I agreed that, he stepped out of the car and said, health is a lot more important than, racing and then everything else in between, because, you know, had he would have been racing with the concussions, who knows what would have happened and so forth. But I would say that he's had a stellar career, and I'm also looking forward to the fact that he's going to run the Xfinity race at Martinsville in April. And one little favorite Dale Jr. memory that I had in stored, I can pretty much remember it was the 1 year, I think it was like 1 year after I first started getting into racing, and I remember they raced at Richmond in the spring. And I remember at that time, Denny Hamlin was a rookie, and of course, you know, and it was between Kevin Harvick and Dale Jr. and Hamlin that were battling it out for the win. And I remember when Jr. ended up winning that race that night, I thought, I don't even know how, like, you know, he was so popular. But then, you know, throughout the years, as I learned about him and I learned about his career, and I said, oh, now I get it. You know, that's the reason why everybody loved him and so forth. And that's why he was the most popular driver in between. So, but I would just pretty much say that he's had a good career, and again, you know, he's had a good family, and not to mention, you know, he also has a really good Xfinity team, like by far. I mean, come on, you have freaking Noah Gragson, you got Justin Allgaier, now you have Sam Mayer, who's going to be coming onto the team, and then you have Junior's protege Josh Berry, who's going to be running full time this year too. And I got to be honest, I think Junior Motorsports, I think this is going to be the team to watch this year. I could see Gragson racking up multiple wins. I could see Justin Allgaier maybe winning 3 or 4 races this year. Heck, I could possibly see maybe Josh Berry winning maybe 1 or 2 races this year, maybe 3. But yeah, I mean, and also to close this out, you know, he's had a good career, and of course, you know, he's also a good owner in the Xfinity series, and, you know, good broadcaster for NBC included. So,
amen to that. Tori, hit us. What, you got a memory? I told you what the question was what one what do they call it? What's that one feature about Dale Earnhardt Jr. that made him great? And what's your one Dale Earnhardt memory?
The one feature about Dale Jr. I would have to say is that unlike a lot of other drivers, man, who get caught up in wins and losses and things of that nature, like Corey had said, like in the early part of his career, he wasn't winning a lot of races, but that's what NASCAR is about. It's about getting your ass kicked and going back out and trying to, like, move up in the spot. Like, if you finish 20th, try to finish in the top 15. Next time, top 10. Next time, 5. Hell, try to win 4 races down the road. You know what I mean? So that was one of the things I admired about him. But my favorite memory, and I honestly cannot remember the year, but you guys will, when he went to Daytona after his father passed. That was huge. That's huge for me.
Yeah, that was the video we just saw.
Mm-hmm. Oh shit! Sorry, dude.
That's all right. That's all right.
Yeah, but that one right there, that's the memory. Because not to jump subjects, but when his pops had passed, man, I actually fucking started throwing up, dude. Like, seriously. But him going back to the place where his father passed and racing, that'll be my fondest memory of Dale Jr. though, out of his whole career.
Wow, that's deep. That's deep. As far as a memory for me, yeah, it would be October 3rd, 2004. He wins the EA Sports 500, and in true Junior fashion, thankfully he doesn't do this on live television broadcast now. They interview him. They say, "Hey, you just won 4 straight at Talladega." And he looks dead down the barrel of the camera and says, "That don't mean shit. Dad won here 13 times." And I'm like, that's what I want out of a race car driver. Just crazy honesty, doesn't take himself too seriously, and just, you know, that don't mean shit. Yeah, great. It's a great accomplishment for me, but Daddy did it 13 times.
Yeah.
And then Tori's going at it. I got to hear what you got to say, kid.
No, it just goes back. It not really goes back, but it's just that statement what he made right then those years ago. People need to see it now, because people prostitute the word greatest so fucking fast. And I'm like, are you shitting me, dude? Just last year you said this guy was the greatest. that person was the greatest, and it's thrown around so much. And to hear someone send me that clip so I can do a whole thing about that. But anyway, for to hear someone say, "Who gives a fuck? I won 4 in a row. My pops did it 13." It don't mean shit until you hoist what up? The trophy, the cup. That's the only thing that matters. And jumping off the subject again. Sorry, I'm doing this, but preseason. Oh, Kansas City's gonna go undefeated. They're gonna go undefeated. Kansas City started losing, then everybody started talking shit about Pat Mahomes. But you were just praising him as the greatest thing since sliced bread. And I believe they like a lot of athletes of all genres feed into that shit. Dude, don't worry about what the fuck they are talking about, because they were giving your ass when you're losing. That's just all I want to say, man. When I heard that he made that statement, that made me feel so fucking good.
It's just I liken it to the Robbie Gordon situation with Michael Waltrip at New Hampshire some years ago.
I was at
where were you?
Yeah.
And after the race, they had gotten into the tussle all day long, and they put the camera on Robbie Gordon. He goes, he says, I'm going to paraphrase it. Everybody thinks Michael Waltrip's this nice guy, and Michael Waltrip's a really good dude. No, Michael Waltrip's a piece of shit, and he walks away live on NBC.
Classic Robbie Gordon moment.
Exactly.
No,
but,
actually,
go ahead.
I'm gonna go a little off topic. And I know this is a junior segment, but my favorite Robbie Gordon memory, and this one, if you remember, they raced in Canada. It was in like 2007. So basically, if I'm gonna go off track on this, it was basically NASCAR's version of the Montreal Screwjob, where of course, Marcus Ambrose was leading, and the caution came out, and Robbie Gordon passed him, and then Marcus Ambrose said, "Wait a minute, you're not leading. I was leading," and then he spins him out. And of course, coming to the restart, Robbie Gordon dumps Marcus Ambrose. NASCAR gets pissed because he was supposed to restart in the back of the line. And after the interview, he ended up saying, like, well, if you want to know my opinion, I won the race. So I completed all the laps. And if you've seen this before, guys get spun when they slow down. And that's exactly what happened to Marcus. And then he spun me when I slow down, and they tell me I'm going back to 17th. It's not the way it is. I've sat down with presidents before, and we'll appeal it. We won this race. So
wow. Look how I've ruined Corey with this dark side of the ring, Montreal screw job. My man didn't know a wrist lock from a wrist watch when I met him, and now he's using Montreal screw job.
Yeah.
And before the broadcast, he says, "Hey, Chris, when is Dark Side of the Ring coming back?"
Yeah.
Like
really
I have,
back.
Like Jason and Evan call me and go, "Hey, Chris, I'm bringing Dark Side back." Question on my mind, because I'm looking at this all-time wins list, and I'm going to throw a couple names out here at you, and we're going to just go around the table and debate. I'm throwing the names of Carl Edwards, Dale Earnhardt Jr., Ricky Rudd, Jeff Burton, Greg Biffle, and Harry Gant. We're just going to stick to those names. You don't have to remember them all. Or if there's somebody I did not mention, please say so. Is Dale Earnhardt Jr., first of all, congratulations on the Hall of Fame. Is he the greatest driver never to win a Cup Series championship? Starting with Tori.
You just gonna do that, Turd Ferguson?
I'm Turd Ferguson.
You're just gonna do that, Turd Ferguson. You son of a bitch. Oh wow, is he the greatest to never win the Cup? Fuck. If he is not, he's top 3 to never win the Cup.
Okay.
Give you that. I'll give you that one.
All right, I'll buy it. Jordan.
Honestly, I would say I'm actually going to agree with Tori on that one. So, but yeah, I feel like he had like a little bit more wins, a little bit more big wins out there, like the Brickyard or the Coke 600. Maybe we could have put him in that category as one of the top greatest drivers to never win the championship. So I just say he's like top 3 right there instead of number 1.
Okay, Corey.
I'm going to say top 3 as well. And actually, here's a little statistic for you. So, if you named out all those drivers, if you think about it, Dale Jr.'s won the Daytona 500 twice, and Harry Gant, Carl Edwards, and Ricky Rudd, those guys have never won the Daytona 500. So I would probably say Dale Jr., I put him top 5 in my book.
Yeah, I thought I had the answer in my head. You guys all made great points, so I guess I'm going to follow the leaders, and I'm going to go. Yeah, if he's not the greatest not to win a championship, he's easily top 3. Who would my others be? Probably Carl Edwards and Mark Martin, easily.
Yeah, I'd say Mark Martin definitely is number 1 in my book.
All right, now I know I'm about to piss a whole bunch of people off. I mentioned it earlier in the broadcast how I thought Dale Jr.'s Xfinity career overshadows his Cup career by, the 2 championships. Cup career, not bad. Look, you don't win 26 races by accident.
Right.
You got to have skill. You got to have good equipment. You have to have fire and desire, and you have to be fearless and have guts coming out of your ass. But he wasn't the greatest. And to listen to some people talk, whether it was on television or reading the chat boards, Dale Earnhardt Jr. is just the greatest thing of all time. I know Tori's already mentioned it once or twice talking about it, where he, the interviews, and he just said, yeah, I'm not the greatest thing of all time. You can't say that about me. These people equate the popularity with greatness, and you could be popular and not be great. Justin Bieber sold 40 bazillion albums and he still sucks. Kiss puts out an album that barely sells 150,000, but they fill arenas and they're still one of the greatest rock bands of all time. I think there's a balance that needs to be thought about here, that his popularity, while amazing, he's a great ambassador for the sport, right up there with Jeff Gordon and others. The popularity doesn't equate to greatness, and championships also don't equate to greatness, which is why when people say, oh, it's the NASCAR Hall of Fame, he didn't win a championship, how can he be a Hall of Famer? Because it encompasses all areas of NASCAR. Tori, you're killing me right now. Go ahead and make a point, bro.
No, bro, I'm just applauding every fucking thing you're saying. Keep it going. Keep it going. I killed my beer. I need to go get another one. Keep going. I'm agreeing with everything you just said, bro. Popularity.
That's why you got to be prepared.
Hey, I work at a bar, baby. I'm already prepared. But yo, that is so true though, man. It's like, for instance, everyone knows that Bill Russell, 10 or 11 rings, whatever, and then he has teammates. But you don't hear the teammates making noise because they were just there. They put in the work, And if a person wins, I'm going to throw a stupid number out there. If a person wins 12 cups, they're a piece of shit in real life, piece of shit to the media and all that stuff. You're still going to say, like, yeah, he's a Hall of Famer, so he's the greatest. Nah, it's a formula that equals greatness. It's a formula. What you do, in my opinion, that is, what you do for your sport, what you do for the up-and-comers in your sport, and how you represent your sport. Those are bigger parts. What you do in the sport, that's the other part.
I could not agree with you more. And on top of that, you bring up like the Bill Russells, and I'll throw one out here because he just got bounced from the playoffs, is Tom Brady. Everybody knows Tom Brady's got 7 rings and whatnot, 6 with the Patriots, 1 with the Bucks. Gronk has a whole bunch of rings too. Oh, look at you. Sit down before you hurt yourself. Gronk's got a handful of rings too. Would I put him as the greatest tight end of all time? The answer is no, because he's not. But the list that you could make, and in my book, Tony Gonzalez starts the list and you go down from there. Look at him. Shilling like an MF.
Oh my God.
So the question has to be asked because we've heard it before and we'll hear it again. Tori's already weighed in. He agrees with me. We're like-minded on this. Do championships equal greatness? One of you has to talk.
157,000%.
It does?
Yes. No, it does not. Your records,
okay.
Your records, and how well you play the game makes you a great. It doesn't matter how many championships. Hell, you could have Dan Marino, no championships, still one of the greatest. So it doesn't matter how many it doesn't matter if you have championships or not. If you know how to play the game and win, then you're considered one of the greats. It don't matter.
I could not agree with you.
And I'm gonna say this right now, and I'm gonna break his heart. Tom Brady is not the greatest of all time.
Oh dear. I know Tom Brady fan, but
I know you're not about to say Drew Brees.
Joe Montana, baby.
Okay, I'll give it that
Oh
one.
my lord. All right, that's another conversation on Nothing But Talk later on when it's launched. Whenever I'd be more than happy to get in on that conversation.
February
Absolutely.
7th.
Where am I going to be on February 7th? I don't know, but hopefully I'll be here with you guys. Corey.
Yes.
Do championships immediately equal greatness?
I'm probably just gonna agree with what Jordan said. I mean,
Okay, because
that's all I can pretty much say about it. But it just
Okay.
depends on how the player does, during the season and how good of a career they are. But
And I'm going to piggyback Jordan's point for a second. I'm going to watch Tori's head explode. Dan Marino, 0 rings. Trent Dilfer has a ring. Championships do not equal greatness. Dude, he's killing me. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it.
Oh, no, I was agreeing with you. I said, no, they do not. You were right.
I know.
No, they do not.
Corey, clean out your desk. Tori's got the job.
Oh, come on.
Anyway, look at this picture. Jordan, tell us where this picture comes from. Jordan. Yeah, you gotta unmute yourself, bro.
You know, I'm over here muted and shit and talking to my damn self.
Hey, sometimes you need expert advice.
Anyway, this is from the 2001 Rolex 24 Daytona. It was Dale Earnhardt Sr.'s first and unfortunately his last sports car series race. And Dale Earnhardt Jr. says he still has that Corvette that they raced in that 2001 Daytona 500. And I tell you what, I actually posted it in the Speedway review today on the racing countdown. So check it out, guys.
Very nice. Very nice. And we have here, Jordan, it's your show. Talk about it.
This is from, I want to say this is from 2000. This is from 2000. Junior talking to Dale in the garage, looks like in the garage area, just learning the ropes to get ready for the 2000 season. Which ended up being
very
his
cool.
rookie year.
Hey, I got a personal trivia for you three right now. You ready for this? Give me the first driver that I saw in a beer commercial, and what was the beer commercial?
Well, yeah, he broke off the engagement, but he wouldn't do that and then kill her. It's an extra step.
Well, you got me on that one. If I had to say, Dale Earnhardt Jr., Budweiser. Nope, I lost.
Just get him in as soon as you can.
Sterling Marlin, Coors Light. Wait, what?
All right.
Here comes Stat Boy to the rescue.
Wasn't Harvick Busch beer? No, not Harvick Busch beer.
We'll find out.
Was it Miller High Life? No. Oh, Jesus. All right. Gosh. I'm trying to think on this one. All right. Oh,
Stop using Google. Do not use Google. I see you, Chris. I see you, Jordan.
No cheating.
I'm playing with Tinder.
Hey,
I don't trust that.
I'm not even touching. This is what I'm doing.
All right.
I'm going to tell y'all, man. The first driver I saw was Rusty Wallace, and it was for a genuine draft commercial.
Oh,
when they introduced the car, that car.
Forgot about that.
Wow.
If I'm not mistaken, I was 9.
Ow.
I almost guessed that.
Really?
Almost.
Damn, because I was a Rusty guy as a kid.
Okay, I got you.
God damn.
Hold on one second, y'all.
Yeah.
All right, Tori's going to make the margarita.
All right, so I got some more videos for y'all.
Play a video.
Let's do it.
Fans come to their feet as Dale Earnhardt Jr. and Tony Stewart take the white flag. We're in the final lap of the Daytona 500. Jr. took the lead from Tony Stewart with 19 laps to go after he trailed Stewart's orange Chevrolet for much of the central part of the race. Now he's got to hang on for 3/4 of a lap to earn a victory in the sport's biggest event. Stewart not close enough to make a move yet. It's all going to come down to whether Earnhardt has a bobble or a problem in this final third of a lap.
And you can't get emotional yet because you've got to get off turn 4 and back to the start-finish line.
You can see it now. The legacy continues. Dale Earnhardt Jr. wins the 46th Daytona 500.
Great run for Wimmer, too. Fantastic.
Tony Stewart second, Scott Wimmer third, Kevin Harvick fourth, Jimmy Johnson fifth. For Dale Earnhardt Jr., his first victory in the 500 in his 5th try.
There are some happy people. But none no happier than him.
That's right. You can't overstate the months of preparation that go into running this one race. These teams take these cars to the wind tunnel, various engineering rigs like chassis dynamometers and 7 post rigs to test them, get them all dialed together for this one shot at getting their names inscribed on the Harley Earl Trophy. And it's Dale Earnhardt Jr.'s who will be inscribed as the 2004 winner. Matt?
A hug from Danny Earnhardt. Tony Eury Sr., it's the Daytona 500. This track is so meaningful for you and the Earnhardts. What does this mean to win it finally?
Phew. I know what Big E went through all them years trying to win this race. Phew. We just won the Super Bowl of this NASCAR racing, and you don't believe how hard we worked to get here. We got to thank John Andretti, Slugger, Michael Walter, everybody. It's great.
Tony, he is like your other son. This has to be special for you to help him win this dream.
Yeah. These 2 kids I got here, Dale Jr. and Tony Jr., they both worked their guts out for this race team. We worked 14 hours a day, 7 days a week for the last month and a half to get here. Trying to build a car better than this car. We didn't think this car was going to be good enough to win this year. We just couldn't do it, so we rubbed on this one the week before we came. Worked the body shop to death and the fab shop to death, and Wayne, Mickey, and AJ, and Bruce, and everybody else there, and they did it, man. You guys back home, we did it.
All right, Junior stopped right there and he acknowledged these fans.
He's got something up his sleeve, I think.
Just get out and acknowledge these fans. They love you.
Here he comes.
Here he comes. Get out of the way, photographers. Let me in there.
You want to know what winning this race means to someone? Have a look.
Well, they wanted to be sure they had a nest egg to draw from in case something happened.
Fantastic. Just fantastic. And you can see the happiness on his face right there.
Terry Ferguson, you were out of control.
Yes, I am. All right, so as we are creeping down to the final 20 minutes of our episode, 2004, 2014 Daytona 500 winner, we've gone over it again. His super speedway skill was amazing.
Oh, yeah.
Didn't matter what he got into, whether it was the Xfinity car or the Cup car, he was always in contention. If there was, is there anybody you see now that has the same super speedway ability that Junior had? And we'll start with Corey this time.
All right. I'm thinking long and hard on this one.
You said long and hard.
Yeah, that's right. All right. Okay, this one I'm thinking, okay. Out of all the races I've seen, you know, Daytona and Talladega ever since Dale Jr. retired, boy, this is a hard one. I can't even decide on this, but if I'm gonna have to go with one, I'm gonna have to go with Brad.
Wow, good choice. You stole my answer.
Oh, really?
That's amazing. Yeah, Brad Keselowski and Denny Hamlin as a 1A, but those two guys are just lights out on the super.
Yeah.
All right, Tori, you're on the hook. Anybody out there that has Dale Jr.'s skill
You're
on the
killing
super
me.
speedway?
You're killing me, Turd. Not you, Drew. I'm on the Speedway Review podcast.
What up?
Damn, man. Fuck. It's hard to do that, bro, because like it's mainly basically what we just got to talking about. Fuck, man. I'm gonna have to concede with Corey, Brad, and Danny, man. I mean, it's too early right now. Give us 2 years. Give us 2 years of him being gone. Then I think we'll have actually a better picture. You know what I mean?
Okay, fair enough. I still think Cletus is the greatest driver on the super speedways. Look, see, Tori's losing his shit right now. All right, Jordan, the question's yours.
Well, playing like my husband would say it anyway. Ricky Stenhouse Jr.
Okay.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't worry.
Because I mean, look how he did at Talladega twice. I mean, he worked his way through the crowd. Oh, and I have to say, Eric Almirola too, because he worked his way up. He almost won that Daytona 500 if it wasn't for Austin Dillon spinning him out. I'm still pissed off about that, but I'm gonna let that one go.
Well, don't forget. Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead, Corey.
I was just gonna say, don't forget, Almirola actually won at Talladega back in 2018, and actually, you know, he's also a good super speedway racer too. And quite honestly, if you're picking him as an early favorite for the Daytona 500, that doesn't surprise me at all. So,
but you also gotta admit, don't forget College Racing's Justin Haley and Edge Allmendinger. Those two know how to work the crowd. Those two know how to work that restrictor plates. Look at Talladega. So College Racing is going to be the team to watch this year on those super speedways.
Agreed.
I'm going to read off since Dale Jr. won in 2014. Here's the list of drivers that have won the Daytona 500 since. 2015 was Joey Logano. 2016, Denny Hamlin. 2017, Kurt Busch. 2018, Austin Dillon. 2019 and 2020 was Denny Hamlin. And, of course, last year, the luckiest man on earth, Michael McDowell. And I put Michael McDowell in that same pantheon as I do Trevor Bayne, Derek Cope, right place, right time. He won, but he didn't win. You know what I mean?
No.
You know, and I looked at Michael McDowell that whole year. I'm like, dude just won his way into the playoffs. He's got a guaranteed spot. It's not going to amount to a hill of shit. And look what happened. He didn't amount to a hill of shit.
And hey, he almost won Talladega back in April of last year. So,
good point. How'd that finish?
I believe he finished third.
Okay. Matt DiBenedetto almost won Daytona and Talladega in the summer/fall. How'd that turn out? Chase Elliott wrecked them both times because Chase Elliott is the greatest race car driver to ever strap on a helmet. Goddamn. Better than Earnhardt. Better than Petty. Better than Rusty Wallace. Almost as good as Dick Trickle. Thank you. I wasn't going to say the other thing because if I do, Tori's going to have a damn coronary right about now.
Yeah.
You don't disparage the good goddamn name of Chase Elliott. You heard? You heard.
Yep.
And I got to go get some stink bait and kiss the wife. Excuse me.
Yeah.
All right, so somehow we lost Jordan again, and we've got 14 minutes. Oh, look. Dude has a brand new baby, Multimedia Jones, just doing his thing. Here he comes.
Yeah, that's him, all right.
Okay, Chris, you had me dying, dude, when you was talking about the Chase Elliott thing. You had me rolling.
You're right. Because Chase Elliott is the greatest driver ever. He could drive a school bus. He could drive a tractor. He could drive a nail. He could drive anything.
He ain't cool, Trickle.
He's not Dick Trickle for crying out loud. G-man. All right. Tori's giving us the one to go sign. Do you have a point, Tori, or you just dying?
Jordan, please play that footage.
I don't have it.
You got to be shitting me, right? You're lying. You're lying.
I took it off to get ready for the new episodes this week.
Are you shitting?
But I tell you what,
I'm curious.
Listen here. Listen real quick, guys.
Last week.
That was the greatest thing I had ever heard. Who was it, Jordan? Was it the commentator who said it? Hey,
No, it was Gordon talking about Dick was riding hard or something like that.
That was
To hear Jeff Gordon say Dick was riding me hard.
Dick was coming on hard.
Dick was coming
on strong.
Oh my God.
To hear young Jeff Gordon say that was priceless.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
All right. Anybody got final thoughts? Go around the table. We'll go in a circle. Corey, Jordan, Tori, and I'll close it out. Final thoughts, Dale Earnhardt Jr. If you had to surmise the career, how do you do it?
Oh my God. I had a few more videos, but it's not cool. Anyway.
Oh no! Bring it. We only have a few more minutes, dude. We gotta go to the video.
That's okay.
Throw us a video.
Yep.
This better not suck.
It's an honor to be in the NASCAR Hall of Fame. I put a lot of thought on what to put in the case. Let me tell you the significance of this one. You know, I think it's cool that I won the Daytona 500 in such a big spread, you know. One's in 04 and one's in 14.
Checkered flag waving, it's over. It's Earnhardt. Unbelievable.
It's rare that I've got many things up on my dad.
You told me several times you cannot put into words what Steve Letarte has meant to you.
It was cool to get Letarte his first.
Dale drove a great race, but if you're going to win one, this is the one you want to win in the last year.
He was... had made his decision to be a broadcaster in 2015.
Hi, Steve.
So I was heartbroken. We were working through those emotions, right? It's what he wants to do. I love him. I want him to be happy. Saying he was my best friend in that moment of my life is understating it a little bit. We were married.
Not gonna work. Dale Earnhardt Jr. will win. Oh, celebrate.
We had more success in 2014 and won more races because he was going to go do TV the next year. He had this sort of, well, what's the worst thing that could happen kind of attitude all year long. We gambled and gambled and gambled.
Checkered flag and his first Triton win. Dale Earnhardt Jr. takes it.
We lost because of it, but we won because of it. And I loved it. It was a fun year, and it kind of got started with that Daytona 500 win. It's an honor to be in the NASCAR Hall of Fame. I put a lot of thought on what to put in the case. Let me tell you the significance of this one.
From Kannapolis, North Carolina, Dale Earnhardt Jr.
So here I am driving a car with the number 3 on it, just like my dad. At a racetrack that he's at, watching, you know. I'd ran 159 late model races in the mid-90s, and my dad never saw one. So imagine going to the Xfinity Series in 98 and 99 and getting to race in front of him.
What a day in history. Dale Earnhardt Jr.
will win the Coca-Cola 300. Dale Earnhardt Jr. on the two-way radio as he came across the line. He yelled, "Daddy, I love you to death."
It was a blast to win with him at the track watching.
How about that? There's the proudest father in Texas.
The 1999 Busch Series championship was really important. The 98 championship was unexpected, wild, fun. Oh my gosh, we're champions, I can't believe it. But 99 was more, we're supposed to win this, right?
Yeah, we're going to get some more. Don't worry about that.
Nobody has faster cars. Nobody has the crew that I have. All of us together are unstoppable.
There's a new sheriff in town. It's Dale Earnhardt Jr.
Tony Sr. was my crew chief, and Tony Jr. was the car chief.
We had to race for it this time. I can't believe we won on one of these bull rings.
Tony Sr. really intimidated you. You knew you wanted to make him proud, so you try harder. I love that he was no nonsense. In my mind, that's like what every team leader should be. And Tony Jr. was kind of like my older brother. He was so supportive. Man, being around them, full of laughs, always cracking jokes, always picking at each other. It was so special. And I never recreated that the rest of my life. One thing I miss about those days is that we loved each other. We were family. We really did look out for each other. I've cherished the success we had together on the racetrack.
I have a quick announcement to make. Is the wonderful owner of the Speedway Review, Mrs. Miller, has allowed us to go a little extra tonight. So from all of us at the Speedway Review to our owner, we'd like to say thank you, and we will not let you down. So yeah, let's do that. Cheers. So Jordan says he has one more video. At least it better be a good one. He's telling on me right now. Listen to him. You are ratting me out sideways, aren't you, kid?
He's ratting, bro.
Liars.
All right, so before you roll the video, tell the folks what we're about to see.
So-
Give them a 15-second bump.
Okay, so the next two videos is his most popular driver award that he chose to put in the Hall of Fame, and the one that's very special to him is the 2001 helmet that he wore when he won 6 months after losing his father at Daytona.
Roll that beautiful bean footage.
Yes, sir.
It's an honor to be in the NASCAR Hall of Fame. I put a lot of thought on what to put in the case. Let me tell you the significance of this one. Have you ever imagined your life being played out on the screen?
What must he be thinking right now?
Maybe you want to entertain the idea of who would play you, or what would be the beginning or the end. When for me, the end is the July 2001 win.
To the outside for the lead in turn 4. Dale Earnhardt Jr. rockets to the front of Daytona. Listen to the crowd.
There's not a day that goes by that I'm not thankful that it happened. I think about it often.
Michael Waltrip dives underneath Bobby Labonte.
That's who Dale needs to see in his rearview mirror right now.
I feel like it was a gift.
It's going to be Dale Earnhardt Jr. using lessons learned from his father to go from 6th to 1st and score the victory in the Pepsi 400.
That's unbelievable.
I can't tell people how much it matters to me. A lot of people, I think, were given a gift, of closure and some relief.
Tears and cheers.
I wonder what we would have done over the next 12, 24 months, 4 years had we not won that race.
What a finish at Daytona. Dale Jr. on top of the car.
I don't even remember. I have to watch the video to see actually where the helmet goes. In those moments, you get so excited that you literally want to share. The time came to find all of the trophies and all the things that we wanted to include, and we wanted the helmet. We couldn't find it. We didn't know where it was. We happened to have a conversation about it. My Uncle Dan said, I had the helmet. We're like, really? So he's had the helmet all these years. 20 years this helmet's been with him, and I didn't even know it. And so Danny agreed to let us have the helmet to put it in the case, but he had one rule, and that is we're done with this helmet, that the helmet goes to Danny Jr., his son. That's his helmet, and that's what we'll do.
was lucky to have a son like you.
I'm not even gonna lie, that kind of brings tears to your eyes,
Yeah.
The beauty and the most beautiful thing about that is how the Earnhardt family, with the exception of gold digging Teresa, cares about one another. They just, and that goes with the Uris, and they're all related in some way. I'm not saying that to be funny. I know the Uris are like cousins of the Earnhardts. The fact that they want to keep everything in-house and be family and be close like that, you can't buy that kind of love. That's special. You're right, Jordan. That is just absolutely wonderful.
Yep.
So do you have one more, or was that the final video?
I got one more.
All right, that's what I like to hear.
It's an honor to be in the NASCAR Hall of Fame. I put a lot of thought on what to put in the case. Let me tell you the significance of this one.
So please welcome the most popular driver for the 15th time, our friend Dale Earnhardt Jr.
The award means more to me, I think, than it might mean to somebody else. So, to be completely transparent, Bill Elliott's winning this most popular driver award all these years in a row, right? 16, 17 years. In our camp, right, the Earnhardt camp, of course, we believe that Dad's the most popular driver and that there's some kind of trick that Bill Elliott and his team are pulling to win this award. No way that Dad's less popular, right? Dad's the most popular driver, right? That's our thought, right? That's not reality. Bill won the award. He's the most popular driver. But in our minds, so finally, here it is. Dad's going to win this. The year Dad passed away in 2001, Bill withdrew his name. Dad's going to get this award. I know that he would have loved to have won this. So I go up there and I accept the award.
Accepting awards for my father is probably one of the toughest things that I do or I've ever done. But I know that he would really be proud to know that he has won this award.
And I think that moment and doing that and that experience really put a lot of emphasis of the importance of that award, or how much it matters to me more than it probably may matter to another driver, because of that experience that I had accepting Dad's award. And so for the rest of my career, every time I won it, I relived accepting that award for my dad in a good way. It was a good thing. If you're getting voted on by fans, they want you to win this award. They're working to win this award for you. They did that for you. They didn't do that for themselves. We have the most passionate and the largest fan base that I think this sport's ever had, and maybe ever will have for a long time. And I'll put Junior Nation up against anybody.
Amazing. Amazing.
So I've been thinking.
I don't know what to say at this point. I'm going to throw it to Jordan. That's your boy, dude. Talk away.
I think they're
right.
Man, I thought that was.
Not before we do a little business.
All right, it got him. Unfortunately, I know how that feels.
I want you to say.
If there's a spot that, and he said it in the video, that if there's something you want, championships are great, but when you have the love of the people, then you're already a champion. And for Junior, unfortunately, he did not have the success that his father did. However, it can be said that he was just as beloved as his father, if not more than his father was. You can have championships coming out your wazoo. You can sell the most merchandise. You can do this. You can do that. But like I said earlier, Justin Bieber sells a bazillion records. He still sucks. And then there's Motorhead. Jordan, say what you're going to say. Oh, he's throwing the 3 to the ceiling. But now that you're composed, throw that thought out.
I think I remember watching it. I remember watching it when I was like, I know Junior feels so upset, being up there doing that for his father. But that's what Senior would have wanted. Absolutely, he would have loved to have won that most popular award, because he always lost to Bill Elliott all the time. So when they took Bill Elliott off the ballot, I'm like, that goes to Senior, and the rest is history. The rest is history. The rest is in the history books. I say this: how about next week we honor Mr. Dale Earnhardt Sr.?
We could do that, and I'm gonna throw this out here. Get your picks ready. At the end of next week's episode, it's going to be rapid fire. We are drafting our team for 2022. Gentlemen, I will send you the parameters for the draft. I will select the draft order live on the show, and we will pick the team that will guide me to the championship, and you will all be buying me gear at the end. Don't shake your head, Tori. I'm not done. No, don't be cousin Vinny on me. Wait till I'm finished. You will all be buying me gear at the end of the season.
Nope.
Corey Huffnagel, final thoughts. Dale Earnhardt Jr.
I'm going to say this real quick. Great driver, the son of a legend. And, of course, always a good super speedway racer, during the heydays. And great team owner and also a good broadcaster. And I'm really looking forward to him racing in the Xfinity race in April at Martinsville.
Okay. Tori, your shot. Final thoughts. Dale Earnhardt Jr.
What can be said that hasn't already been said, man? Great ambassador to the sport, beloved by peers and fans. He's taking time to get the next generation ready for the sport because, as the great Terry Funk once said, if you don't get the next generation ready, there's not going to be a future.
Amen to that. From rookie driver, from two-time Xfinity champion, multiple race winner on the Cup circuit, broadcaster, most popular driver, the word that comes to mind is a great ambassador for the sport. From an age where in the 90s, Dale Earnhardt and Jeff Gordon and Rusty Wallace took it from just a Southern Boys club to a more worldwide product into the 2000s with Junior, Gordon, Jimmy Johnson, and others. And now he shares his wisdom and vision with all of us every Sunday with NBC. The only words that come to mind really are, thank you, Dale.
Yep.
That's it. Thank you, Dale. So until next week, Tori, Jordan, Corey, me, we wish you a great week. Oh, I forgot about that, Jordan. My mistake.
All right. So, fun show this week, yes. Before we sign off, let me ask you this. So, John Vander, who is the co-founder and creator, OG of Motorsports Race Talk, sent me this today. This is chassis number CGR005. Does anybody know the history of this chassis?
This
is the part where I say
cleaned?
no.
It's been
Has
cleaned?
the chassis been cleaned?
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna take one wild guess only because of the show that we're doing. Well, maybe two. It either belonged to Dale Sr. or Dale Jr., or that is the first one that was supposed to go in the car he was supposed to drive.
Okay, you are close. However, this is Sterling Marlin's chassis from the 2001 Daytona 500. That was right behind the number 3 car before he crashed.
Wow.
Damn.
Wow.
And here is chassis CGR005 today.
Wow.
Wow.
It's the same car that ran at Daytona in the ARCA race last year.
Wow.
Fantastic.
Same chassis.
Wow.
So thank you, John, for that. And Motorsports Race Talk is sponsoring John White Racing for the ARCA Menard Series race at Bristol in September. So he'll be on next week. And don't forget to tune in tomorrow night for the official broadcast of the week for Motorsports Race Talk. Due to technology last night, we had to postpone until tomorrow. Whether Tanner Thorson's on it or not, the show is a go. Corey, you're more than welcome to come on if you're available. Other than that, it's been a fun show, boys.
Until next week, where we talk about Dale Earnhardt Sr. and we draft our teams. By the way, gentlemen, come up with a name for your team. It's not just going to be, hey, Tori's race team. No, F that. Come up with something exciting.
All right, then. No problem.
All right, gentlemen, it's been fun. We will see you all next week.
All right.